Good afternoon. I'm Dana Tyler. This is your CBS2 update. In January, when New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy took office, he called NJ Transit a national disgrace, ordering an audit on the agency, which frustrates commuters daily. Well, that audit is back, citing problems like top-heavy management, low morale, and little or no strategic planning. CBS2's Janelle Burrell has more from the station in Metuchen.
The governor making his announcement earlier today here at the Metuchen train station, and it was a good location for him to make the announcement. A lot of commuters here say yesterday trains were so delayed, some of them never made it to work at all. Now, as for the audit, the governor says that it is a good roadmap for their improvements moving forward. Plenty of exhaust fumes from New Jersey Transit riders ahead of Governor Murphy's arrival.
My commute into the city from Metuchen was 3 hours.
Commuters here in Metuchen, some of the latest casualties of what many consider a failing system. No train during rush hour Monday for a full hour and a half.
It was dangerous conditions, people overflowing the platform. I actually went home. I couldn't get to work. No way to run a railroad, really isn't.
We knew we needed to do more than just, as they say, pop the hood, change a couple of spark plugs, and expect the car to run as new.
Governor Murphy addressing their concerns today, releasing the audit that he ordered, a full review of the agency.
The audit identified a broken operational chain of command.
The 5 top areas that they've identified for us to review are organizational structure, customer experience, procurement, personnel recruitment, and the operating capital funding sources. These are not new to anyone who has heard us speak over the last several months.
Transit officials say they've already begun making changes with new leadership, more funding, and focusing on a new communication strategy. After reviewing the report, they say they will also take steps to make staying with the agency more attractive for employees by offering sign-on bonuses for conductors and bus drivers. They plan to also create a so-called central war room for customer communication.
We are not going to let this audit collect dust.
Regardless of what officials promise, many riders remain skeptical, believing that what the system really needs is an overhaul and better accountability.
Fix it.
We got to do better. We got to do better.
Transit officials say a lot of the suggestions in the audit are improvements that they were already well aware of that were obvious, but they say now with that in hand, they will be doubling down in their efforts to make things better for commuters. From Metuchen, New Jersey, Janelle Burrell, CBS 2 News.
Governor Cuomo has ordered flags to be lowered to half staff across the state on Thursday, honoring the people killed in the limousine crash in central New York State. NTSB investigators are back in Schoharie today trying to figure out exactly what led up to the tragedy. 19 people and the driver died when the limousine sped through a stop sign and into a parking lot. Last night, a huge crowd, 3,000 people, joined a candlelight vigil in Amsterdam. It's a town nearby where many of those who died worked and lived. The tragedy is testing the faith of those in the community.
To lose a teacher, a family member, a best friend, it's just terrible.
Monday, Governor Cuomo.
We've learned the limousine had been extended over the years to accommodate more people. The NTSB is looking into whether that could have played a role in the massive fatal crash. Police are searching for a man they say followed a woman into her apartment building on Manhattan's East Side and attacked her yesterday morning. Take a look at the surveillance video. Police say the man followed the woman into her Stuyvesant Town apartment building and then into an elevator, and that's when she says he started to grope her. When the elevator got to the second floor, she ran, but says he followed her into a stairwell and continued the assault. She says when she screamed, he ran off. Residents are shocked that an attack like this can happen in their normally quiet neighborhood.
We're a very safe area. I have a daughter and she grew up here.
I've always felt safe here, but it's kind of scary. But we're just going to not let people in behind us anymore, I guess.
But I would like more info, the next day or so. It's kind of just nice to know because it is the community you live in. And
the woman was taken to the hospital, but not seriously hurt, physically, that is. Now to Hurricane Michael, which is now a Category 2 hurricane as it heads toward the U.S. Gulf Coast. Cuba's western coast has been hit already with powerful winds and flash flooding. Power lines are down there. In the United States, states of emergency are in effect for parts of Florida, Georgia, and all of Alabama. Forecasters say the storm is on course to gain strength in the Gulf of Mexico and be upgraded to a Category 3 storm when it makes landfall tomorrow. The Florida Panhandle is in direct aim. Florida Governor Rick Scott has ordered mandatory evacuations for 3 counties and evacuated more than 1,200 National Guard troops. And before the effects of Michael hit our area, we're getting warmer temperatures in our forecast. Here's Elise Finch with your forecast.
Good afternoon. Well, today is going to feel a lot more like summer than it will like fall. Just check out this forecast high for today. 78 degrees. That's what we're expecting for a high. 66 is what the National Weather Service considers normal for this day of the year. So well above where we should be. When you factor in the humidity, it will feel even warmer. So it'll feel more like the 80s out there. So in spite of the cloudy start to the day and the fact that the clouds never really leave, we'll get just some breaks of sunshine. It is going to be a warm day. As we head into tomorrow, it's another round of summery weather, 79 degrees, the forecast high for tomorrow. Again, with that touch of humidity, we're keeping an eye on Hurricane Michael because what happens is Thursday, as Michael's on the move, it moves well south and east of the tri-state area, but we're going to tap into some of this moisture. At the same time, a cold front will be pushing across the area. So showers and thunderstorms are going to be a possibility. Very heavy rain, still expecting a high of 77 degrees on your Thursday. But once the cold front moves through, we'll have some cooler air on the backside. So today we're warm and humid, 78. Tonight, 68 degrees with some clouds and some areas of fog. And then, as I mentioned, tomorrow's another really warm day at 79 degrees. But take a look. Here's the 7-day. So Thursday's the day when we tap into that tropical moisture. Cold front moves through. Behind it, 65 degrees is what we're expecting for a high on your Friday. And then Saturday, we may not even get to 60. We're looking at a forecast high right now of 59 degrees, tons of sunshine. So it will finally feel like fall this weekend.
Mayor de Blasio is about to sign a bill that adds a 3rd gender category on birth certificates issued in the city. The new non-binary identity category will be known as X. It will represent those who don't consider their gender to be exclusively male or female. New York City residents will no longer need a letter from a doctor or healthcare provider to make the change on their birth certificates. Residents can now submit their own affidavit requesting a change in gender identity. Screens seem to occupy every aspect of our lives, and now companies such as Facebook and Google want to add even more to the mix. Facebook introduced a new video chat device that uses face detection. The built-in camera can automatically zoom in and pan to follow you, allowing users to easily walk around without having to hold on to that device in their hands. It also widens the shot if a second person comes into the room. But this comes at a time when distrust of Facebook continues to grow, as a recent security breach exposed personal information of some 50 million Facebook users.
The timing it really couldn't be worse. Bringing video into the home, bringing a camera into the home, I think it just sort of ups the ante on the possibility of these security breaches really impacting our lives.
Facebook says the devices never record and that they come with a camera cover to give users some peace of mind. The devices go on sale next month, starting at $199. And for those wanting a smart display without the camera, Google introduced a similar device called the Home Hub. The touchscreen gadget connects to Google Assistant to help you with your tasks around the house. There's a place on Long Island where John Coltrane composed the classic album Love Supreme. And CBS2's Carolyn Gussoff says now the jazz legend's home will live on in history.
We are in Dix Hills today, where a very special celebration, the home of John and Alice Coltrane, has been listed as a national treasure. It's behind me. It's in the process of being renovated. And several years ago, this gentleman, Steve Flagoni, lives in Dix Hills, realized that the home of John Coltrane, the jazz legend, was going to be demolished. And no one knew that this was a home of a music great?
Ironically, for some reason, it just kind of eluded a lot of people, including Fuji, who was searching for it for years. I was fortunate through some circumstances that I came to learn that it was here, and when I learned it was scheduled to be demolished, I felt I needed to do something.
So you brought it to the town's attention. They bought the property. It's now called Coltrane Park, and today we learned that more than $100,000 has gone into it, and it is going to become not really a museum, museum more of a living museum, a place where you, what do you hope this land will be?
I hope that this house serves as the anchor for wonderful good things that happen, not only here, but in schools, in the community, throughout the world, really. That's my hope.
And John Coltrane and Alice Coltrane's legacy to you is what? Not only as great musicians?
They were just not only musical giants, but wonderful, wonderful people who believed in equality for all, that we are all equal, we are all wonderful people.
And this house will soon be completely open to the public, as I said, and a place, they hope, of musical inspiration. Online, on air, and on Long Island, I'm Carolyn Gussoff.
That's your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Dana Tyler. Stay with us all day long on CBSNewYork.com and on our Twitter and Facebook pages at CBS New York. See you later today on television, CBS 2 News at 6 o'clock. Have a good day.